Good morning, everyone. So glad to see you all here. There were 82 that joined in the chat this morning. Hello. We do this every Saturday morning, 11 a.m. 11 a.m. Eastern time every Saturday morning, except for the end of July. Last Saturday in July, first Saturday in August, I'm going to be traveling across the country. I will be doing live videos pretty much the entire way. We're going to try to live stream our trip driving across the country and in a Tesla, an electric vehicle, no gas. So it doesn't cost me anything. So I want to take you guys with me. So no classes on those days. But maybe during that time, if you have questions on Cricut or Design Space, I can answer the questions from my car. Okay. What are we doing today? We are going to make these cards. So I made these cards the other day. They're welded shaped cards. So I'm going to show you how to make your own out of any images. I'm going to show you how to make it. Thanks for subscribing. I'm going to show you how to make it these. And then I'm going to show you some other design. We're just going to choose some images in Design Space and show you how you can do it too. So if you want to see me put these together, I did do that on Thursday in a live video. Sandy says Grand Canyon meetup. I can tell you where we're going to be. If people want to meet up with me, we're going to be stopping at superchargers, Tesla superchargers, all the way there. So if you're watching the live video, I'll tell you what time we'll be there and how long we'll be there. And if it's near your town, you can meet us there. My son is going too. He's going to be doing... Well, the Tesla will be doing most of the driving. Then my son will be sitting behind the wheel most of the time. Yes, Ann placed questions in all caps. Thank you, Bobby. He's our head cheerleader for the channel. And should we get started? Let's get started with this.
You are watching Melody Lane. With me, you're gonna have a great crafting time.
Okay, we're going to go to Design Space, but let me talk about the sponsorship really fast because we had some people here earlier that didn't realize what it was or didn't know what it was. For all the people you see in green or with a little badge next to them, you start off with this badge. So sponsorship is a new thing from YouTube. YouTube sets the price. YouTube sets everything except for I can add my own perks. So when you're a sponsor, the first month, you get this badge. After a month, you'll see antennas. So you'll see a lot of people with antennas. And then after 2 months, you get a little body, and it grows as you see here. And then you can use special emojis that I have uploaded. And you can use those also, not even just in live, but also in comments. At least your badge shows up in the comments. Thanks, Bobby, for sharing the video where the cards were put together. Okay, let's get that out of the way. So here are the cards I did in Design Space. Oh, there's the other one. They're really, really easy to make. So I want to teach you how to make them so you can make them yourself. Oh, and I didn't talk about the perks. I don't have... you come to the community and you get all my Cricut Design Space files. And let's just click the sponsor button. There's a button you can click. It's also in the description of the video. You get all my Cricut Design Space files. You get a coupon for my store, my digital paper for 60% off. And I have created some more digital paper. I'm in the process of creating it. It's not released yet. I haven't finished it yet. You also get to join me in private hangouts on the second Saturday of the month. and I subscribe back to you. So that is the sponsorship. Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and open up a new one, and we're going to make these from scratch. So I'm going to look for golf cart. This is the same golf cart I used. Let's separate those. When I made the 3D golf cart. So this is the same one. So if you made that 3D golf cart, you can use this golf cart for free then, because you probably own it now or have access. So we want to make this a card. So the first thing we have to do, well, first thing I'm going to do, no, I'm going to ungroup it first. We need this back layer. So that's the brown layer. I changed mine to black. And we need to duplicate this. And then we can bring this back up there, arrange it to the back, group this back. So we don't need to do anything else with this unless you want to change colors and things. So we're just going to move that away. So now we need this to be a card, but it's cut through because you can see the guides through it. So we're going to hit contour. And we are going to block this out because we just need a solid black piece for this one. There we go. Now we have maybe the inside, but we need a card that you open up. So we're going to duplicate this. And when I was doing this, I was trying, you can do this any way you want. I was trying to figure out where's the best place to put this. Thanks, Teresa, for becoming a sponsor. And Connie, my sponsor thing is not working today, I don't think. With it, usually pops up with the Cricut cheerleader. So I'll get you guys next time, I think. I can't, my list is not updating for some reason. Okay, so we have two pieces. Now, in order to make these, it depends on where you're going to do it. If you're going to connect them in the back, or the front, or the bottom. I preferably, I try to figure out how to connect them some way on the top so the card opens from the bottom or from the back. This one I decided to just do it right here on this. So let me jump back to me.
You are watching Melody Lane.
Didn't mean to do that.
With me you're gonna have a great crafting.
Okay, sorry. So this one I had open right here. So it's connected right there, not opening there. Actually, it opens like this. So now I need to move these up and weld those in that spot. So I have to flip this. So you go up to the top. Oh, you can't see it, can you? There we go. So I take this and I have to flip this vertical. If you flip it the wrong way, you can always just flip it back or undo. And I'm going to turn, this one I have to turn. We need to lower it in order to turn. And I am just, this one is the, I would say the most difficult of the three. We do them all in different ways. I don't know why there's two things there. So I'm trying to get this perfect like that. And you do, let me zoom in so I can show you. You know what, let me change the colors so you can see it better. See how thick that line is? Okay, first we want to line it up, and it doesn't look perfectly lined up. Okay, that should be fine. Let's select them both. You can just drag a box over them and select them, and then we're going to click weld. Thank you, Cat Cook. See, now it welded. There's no line. I'm going to undo so I can get it wrong. Okay, see, there's a thicker line there than over here. That means there's one cut line here and one on that space. Let's select them both and weld. Okay, I welded it. There's still a cut line. That means they are not going to cut together or stick together. They're going to be cut right in half, and that's not what you want. Okay, so I'm going to undo. Oh, I undid it too far, I think. All right, let's just move them back. If you have to overlap a little, overlap. Sometimes, if you're not sure, you can add a square over it, or a circle, or anything you want. It's not really necessary for this one, but I'll show you some others where I've done that. Okay, so now we got one piece. And now if we want to, now this piece, you can put it here to see what it's going to look like. But this piece is actually the inside of the card. So we can write on the inside of the card here, and then this will be put on this card once it's folded down. First, we have to add a score line. You don't really have to have a score line. You can just fold the paper, you know, fold this down, meet it where it goes, and I suggest doing that. I added a score line on all of mine, and if you're not sure where to put it, you can put this back. And line up the score line. And you might want to zoom in so you can see it better. Or the best thing to do is when you fold it, you just line these up so it's all looks like one piece. But you need to attach the score line to here. Okay, now if we want to write some text. First, are there any questions on what I've done so far? Any questions? There is a bit of a delay. Thanks for subscribing, Kimberly Johnson. I figured out why there were two alerts. Thank you, Diana Clarkson. Thank you, Joanna Walbert. Kathy, you can email me if you like. There's my email. Okay, I'm not seeing any questions. Angela, it is easy. I make it look easy because it's that easy, and this is more difficult than the other two. Okay, so let's add some text. Just to make this quick, I'm just going to do happy birthday. We want it to write on it. So I am going to go here. You know what? Click on that. I'm going to go here. First, I'm going to choose style, and I'm going to go to writing. Okay. Then I can go here and I can filter these to writing style fonts only. So then we can pick any font we want. Oh, you know what? I'm going to pick, there's a new font that I thought was really cool. It's a $4.99 font, but it's so cool. Look at it. I'm going to align it here. Let's move the line spacing a little closer. Let's make it a little smaller. Okay, so now you can choose any font you want. I'm probably not going to keep this file. This is just for class purposes. So we have to drag a box over this. Make sure we select the words. Look in the layers panel if you're not sure what you have selected. Make sure you have the words selected and the piece we're attaching it to, and then go to the bottom of the layers panel, click on that paper clip for attach. Welcome, Joanne. Thank you for sponsoring. I don't know why my thing isn't working for the sponsors. This is called Agent Q, font and design space, and it writes it out. So some people wanted a thicker font, and this is a thicker font to write with. Okay, so you know what, guys? This card's done. That took me a while only because I was showing you how to not do it and things like that. But it's really, really fast. So it'll look like this, but that will be folded. So do you got it? You guys like it? Now, if you are a sponsor or a Patreon supporter, you already have all these files. No, Lisa, there are a lot of new fonts. I don't even know. Like, there are so many fonts. I don't remember which ones are new and which ones aren't. I don't have a list of them. Okay, so let's move this way over here. Thank you for subscribing, Pamela. I don't know why it's coming up twice. Okay, let's go back to images. Let's do the rainbow. That one I do a little different. You can actually do all these rainbows in, well, this one I probably wouldn't do. It wouldn't be, unless you added a circle to this or something. Let's play with that one. But I want to show you this one first. Thank you for subscribing. Okay. So now I have this one. And first thing we're going to do is ungroup. I'm going to grab the blue layer in the back. I know I only have the blue layer. See, I don't have all of them selected because only the blue one is gray. I am going to duplicate that, this button right up here. Okay. And now I'm going to group these back. And we're done with these for a while. So we're going to make the card. So on this one, we're going to duplicate that again. And we have to flip it. So we're going to flip vertical on this one. Now, I don't want to just line this up like this because that's just going to be a teeny bit that's probably going to rip. Am I right? It is going to rip. So if I move it down like this, then it's going to fold right here and you're not going to have the full rainbow effect. If I didn't have this blue line here, this blue one here, but it will cut this off so I'm going to lay this on top of that. Arrange to the front. So we can do that. And then when the card is closed, you will not see that it has a flat top here because we're putting the full image on top of it. Does that make sense? But now we don't just want to guess and see if this is even, because if I were to weld these like this, it's not even, it's not going to be folded right. Does that make sense? You want to align it. So you want to click here on align, and you want to align either right or left or center horizontally. You don't want to align top. You don't want to align center. You want them to be aligned. And if they're, if you see these are completely even, you're pretty good. Okay, so now we're going to weld. And then that will go on top. So now for the rainbow card, I curved text. I have a sunshine day. Bobby, sing it. Okay, I'm seeing lots of questions. Nikki Hart, she says she does Patreon. How do you get the files? Every time I post, you should get an email. And I've been posting a lot lately. You should have gotten an email with all these files. There is no list that they'd give us when they add files. They don't always let me know when they add fonts. Sometimes they do. Connie, check your junk mail. You should be getting an email from Patreon pretty often. Let me give you guys a link to the Patreon files and to past posts. I don't know if I can post all this. Hold on. Let me do one sentence at a time. Yeah, make sure you're checking your Patreon email. Nolan, you should have a lot of fonts, Cricut fonts. I'm going to choose a different font for this one. I'm going to go to writing. Yep, set to writing. Maybe this one. And make it smaller. And I didn't type that very well. And we're going to curve. So I'm clicking here where it says more, or if you see the curved up here. And then to curve it, you just move the text. So let's put this up here. Let me move these letters together more. There we go. Have a sunshine day. So now to keep it on there, you have to select both the writing and the background. See, we have it here, and click the paperclip for attach. Connie Gilt, you got your antennas. Okay, so we have that card done. That was really easy. Oh, no, we don't. Sorry, I forgot. You got to put the score line here. Whoops, wrong button. Score line. And when I'm moving the score line, I hit my shift key. When you hit your shift key, see how it kind of stops at different angles? It will be perfectly straight across. If I try to move it without my shift key, I can move it any way I want, but I'm not sure it's even. Like, it's not even there now. And no, I can't get it even very well. So we're going to do that again the correct way by holding the shift key. So here it is. We're going to turn this, hold down your shift key while you do it. Just keep it pushed. And there we go. And then I'm going to put this here and move this over and attach that. Okay, now let's try the Cricut one. I don't even remember how I did it. This Cricut is the same Cricut I used for the peaking Cricut. So you should own this Cricut, this orange one. I use this one because it's in Access. And I just change them to orange. I mean green. Let's move them up. There we go. Thank you. Now oh, that's the Patreon pledge. That's working. Okay. So now we need the background for this also. I changed that to white. So much cuter. So I just need that back piece duplicated. So I just clicked the back piece here in the layers panel and then click duplicate. And him, I can't remember. Okay, we did the bottom cheek. So what I did for him, you know what? I'm going to mark this out. I'm going to move him this way first. I moved it this way just to make it easier. Okay, so now I'm going to click him, the white in the layers panel and duplicate. And now we're going to flip horizontal, not vertical. And we're going to move his face up. Let's duplicate that again. Move him out of the way. That's not gonna work as antennas. Okay. We're We're going to do it again because that was not going to work. We got to move it more. So just his face here hitting on the side because we don't want this to be touching. So now I'm going to select this, duplicate 2 of those, move him out of the way. And then we got to flip this horizontal. And you can overlap. I just want to overlap just a little bit. If you want to add more overlapping without cutting the image, you could like add a little circle here if you wanted. And then weld those. You have them all selected. Weld. I don't think I did that actually on mine. I just had them touch just a little bit. And let me show you mine. So you can see where I did not add anything, and I did not have it like I do on the screen. I did not add another white piece on top. I just used the one white piece and then added the green to it. So you can see where I welded it right there. So it looks, here, whoops. I just did it like that. But it's up to you. I'm going to unweld that. Let me go back. So it will have a little flat part, but you can cut this out and then just add the white piece on top of it like I did in the rainbow. Let me show you the rainbow. I didn't show. I showed these in the beginning, but so here's the rainbow one. See? And here's what it looks like from the back. Do you see where it's folded and then where I added this on top so I wouldn't have a flat rainbow? And you can't even tell like that. And it's not something you think about when you open it either. Thanks, Bobby. And thank you everybody who helps. I want to say thank you to everyone in my Cricut Design Space with Melody Lane Facebook group. You guys are so helpful. Thank you, Jamie, for being a moderator, and Sue for being a moderator, and all the things you guys all do. You guys do so much for me, and you guys all make the group an awesome group. Oh, and I want to do this really fast, if I can. I forgot to do it last week. So if you guys have any questions, put them in the chat in all caps, and I will answer your questions, and then we'll get on to, I'll make one more welded thing, and then we're going to do the envelopes, okay? Shout outs to a few of the people who support my channel on Patreon. Jean, Kim, Ebony, Linda, Audra, Stacy, Carol, Donna, Nina, Amanda, Carol, Vanessa, Marie, Virginia, Mouse Baby, Linda, Darla, Rebecca, Ashley, Mary, Emma, Wanda, Michelle, Lisa, Shanna, Cindy, Susan, Christy, Kat, Helen, Lydia, Keisha, Afia, Kelly, Adara, Kathy, Gloria, Deborah, Donna, Beth Ann, Sonia, Bobby, Macy, Connie, Jody, Susan, Melissa, Bonita, Colleen, Jane, and Richanda. Thanks, guys. Okay. I also want to say, well, Bobby's the channel head cheerleader, but Joan, Miss Superklutz, I want to say, is the channel comedian. She comes up with the funniest comments and the most wonderful comments, and she's always making up some fun stuff. Bye, Charlotte. Have a great day. Okay, let's get back to Design Space. I don't really see any questions. Okay, let's get back. Okay, so let's go and find another image. Do you guys want to do something sports related? I was thinking that's let's just go to a sports cartridge. Spots. Okay, let's check all sports. There was one. Wait a minute. There was one I saw. I forgot the name of it. Yeah, Team Spirit. I thought this one was really cool. It's in Access. And look at all these. So you can choose maybe a head that your team is on, or these shapes here. That would be so easy. We could make this for Bobby. This just has so many things in it. And so many people love sports and so many different kinds of sports. You could totally make cards out of these. I love the jacket. You could do it. You know what? I'm going to bring this jacket in because it's kind of an odd shape, but I'm going to show you how I would do it. But look at all of these sports and these team logos and mascots. Did you guys even know they were here? Do the weights. You want me to do the weights. You're going to make me do a hard one. Like the balls would be very easy. The finger, you could like move it sideways and do the finger. The bulldogs. This could even be for somebody who has a bulldog, a mean one, because that looks like a mean one. All of these shapes you can just weld at the very top. And that would be a really nice card. Soccer. Okay, let me find the weights. Whoops, it just went really fast. Oh, yeah, I'm bringing in that coat. The weights. All right, we'll try it. Okay. I'm going to, okay, I guess I never finished this, but you just weld it, add the score line, and add the text like I did on the others. You got the hang of the text. If you just joined us, you'll have to rewatch. Okay, let's do this one. So I'm going to select just the back piece, and I'm going to duplicate that. I am going to flip this horizontally. Oh, you know what? Let's duplicate the back again. Or we don't really have to. We can just use this piece. No, we can't. We're going to keep that. We're going to duplicate this. So when making these cards, it's pretty much of a good idea to duplicate the back piece twice, move that off to the side. And I think we are going to weld these right here. So we're going to cut it off at the shirt. So at the top of the shoulder, we're going to do this one. So that is going to be welded right there. So when this is folded, you will not have this back piece here. But you can glue on this whole piece onto the front, and they will never notice that that isn't really there. Does that make sense? It might not make sense to you until you actually do it. Now we want to align these, and for this type, I'm going to align on the top to make sure they're very even, and then I'm going to weld. And then we have to add a score line. Just going to have it go there, push that up. Select it all. can see they're all selected in the layers panel and attach. So now, let me bring this to the front. The card will be folded right here on the score line. So it'll look just like the jacket. Does that make sense? And if you want to do writing, you do writing on this side and then fold this side over, and then this will be on the front. So his arm will be sticking out of the card. I don't really know how to explain that. So it's going to be folded right here. So his arm will stick out right here. Yeah, a little overhang, but that's okay. So the weights. Oh, you stumped me on this one. I'm going to get it. We're going to duplicate the last piece. If you want them to do it just in this shape, you would just do it the same way. But, okay, I flipped this one. You could even fold it like this and it would just be overhang like that, and the card would be like that. Or, let's just do this. If you wanted more coverage to write more, you could add a square or a circle or anything to it. Let's just see how it looks. I would just play with it and see what I like. So then, like, you could do something like this, so then you have more room to write on the inside. And then I would duplicate this. You could even do this a different color than that too. And flip the one horizontal. And I'd probably do it about like right there. You need to align top on this one and weld, and then put the score line right there. And then there will be a little overhang here, but then there would be more room. You'd fit that right there. You could make this another color too, or make these another color. You'd just have maybe room like that, so you'd have more room inside the card to write. Okay, why aren't you sizing the shape for the card so it will fit in an envelope? Because I don't always follow rules, and you can make any size card you want to. Oh, I was going to do this one too. I'm going to do the envelopes in just a minute. This one, let me see. This one is hiding the background. So you can do that, and I'm going to duplicate that. And I'm going to add a circle to this one, because having a card, like, I mean, it's just not much of a card. Okay, the circle's probably up here. Yep. So if I was making this rainbow into one, I think I would kind of put that right there. Only have these pieces selected and weld. And then I would duplicate that. It's in black, so you can't see it. I need to flip it horizontal. I don't even know how I would do this one. I think maybe like that. So we're gonna have some overlap here. But what this will look like, let me move this to the back. And sometimes you have to test cut it. So this is what it would look like, although I'd probably make this white. So the card would look like that, but it would be shaped like this part of the rainbow. Or maybe you would put this on light blue. Something like that. No, the weights and the jacket, I would cut out in layers. They're in layers. You can do print and cut. If I wanted to print these, I would select it and click flatten. Or you cut out each of these images. You don't have to cut out every single layer if you don't want to. You could just make it simple like that. But these layers just make it more, I don't know, popped out more 3D kind of. But if you don't want to mess with you can even do them in vinyl and put it on a card. If you don't want to mess with all these, then just hide them and just make it simpler. More like that. And if they have, like they have these cut lines in here, so you know where to place the other layers. If you don't want those cut lines, you can hide all the contours and then bring back the actual pieces that you want to cut. Like that. So then those lines are gone. So if you want to do a simpler cut. Does that make sense with that? And if you wanted to print, you make sure these are all selected and just click flatten. So now it's a print image. So you can print that and put it on the card. And it's much easier. Cricut cardstock is all the same weight. It's all 80 pound. Yeah, Joan's right. You could even cut it out of chipboard. A lot of people use 110 pound cardstock. Oh, Sue Nelson, you are so smart. Sue says use a sunshine shape to add to this. That would be cool. Yeah, that is awesome. Or yeah, like we could just change it to yellow for the sun. Connie, I have a lot of videos on contour. Okay, so now let's go to envelopes. You know what? I'm just going to select all and move this all out of the way. I want to keep them so we kind of know what size to make the envelopes. Like, let's say this is a card. I'm just going to group it for now. You can change these to any size you want. I just made them as what they came in. If I want to size this golf cart card after I made it, what I need to do is just make sure I have it all selected, both of them, which I usually like to just group together just to make sure. And then you can size it to any size you want, any size card you want. But remember, it's not going to be 6.5 inches. It's, wrong button, shapes. If you want to know what size that's going to be, I'm going to ungroup it real fast. Let's move him down here just so we know. Group. Okay, I added a square. Let's bring him over to the golf cart for now. Whoops. So I'm going to put my square by him, unlock the lock, and then I'm going to drag it to the edge and to the bottom and move that. Okay, let's grab the square. There. So I know this card will be about the same size as that square. 2.9 high, that's kind of small, and 3.63 across. We probably want it bigger than that. So in order to make an envelope for that card specifically, I'm going to group them all well, I'm not going to group them all. I just selected them all. You can see it's all selected over here. And I'm going to make it bigger. Actually, I want to keep that locked. I changed the, it doesn't really matter, but because you can't even tell on this one, it says 8 inches across. It's not 8 inches. Okay, so now we're going to select just the square. There. So now we have only the square selected. So it's 4.49 tall and 5.7 across. If we want to change it a little bit, we make sure we select it all and make it a little bigger or smaller or whatever we need to do. Just select the square, move that. So now this is 6 across and 4.6 high. So if we want to make an envelope for that, you know what, I'm just going to duplicate this square and move it over here. And we're going to go to this empty area. And we're going to make an envelope out of this square. Let's make a prettier envelope. Okay, so now we're going to add some more squares. Not squares. Some more shapes. I'm going to use an octagon. Oh, that's why. It's way up there. Let's go up here. And I'm going to size the octagon. We're going to hit this button. We're going to pull it down. So it's the same height as the 4.604. So we're going to make this 4.604. Is that what that was? So we know they're exactly the same size. And I'm going to duplicate it. I haven't made an envelope in a while. Hope I'm remembering how to do this. I hit my shift key when I turn this and it stops at angles, so I know it's perfectly this way. So I'm going to drag this one. Okay, we're going to set that to the side. We're going to make the bottom piece now. Let's unlock it. I forget. No, this is not what I did. I almost forgot what I did. Okay, hold on. Let's go to the sides. We're going to make the sides first. But we have to slice this in half. So we're going to get a slicing tool. I call that a square. Just make it bigger than that. Well, it doesn't really matter if I cut it in half because I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Let me see where I want to slice it. Okay. I'm going to slice it right here. I just want a little bit here and a little bit here and then this side part. So I only have 2 sections selected, so I'm going to slice. We're going to delete these pieces. So now we have this here. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot to do something. But let's go ahead and work on these sides pieces. Okay, we're going to duplicate that piece and we're going to flip it. Have you guys ever flipped so much in your life? Okay, we're going to duplicate this big green square. This big green square, we are going to make score. Okay, so that is going to go right on top of there. We're not going to attach it yet. Actually, we're going to hide it for now. Oh, no, wait a minute. We're going to bring it back. I think No, we can hide it. We're going to align these, align top. I hope I'm not confusing people. If I am, please ask questions. Kathy is lost. Okay, let's start over with explaining it. So this square is the same size as my golf cart card, right? So we want to make an envelope that fits the golf cart. So that's why we're starting with this square, because the golf cart will fit inside the square. And then we want to duplicate the square, and we made it score, okay? So we moved that, we hid the score line. It's over here. We just made that before we go any further. So you make the square the size of the card. Then you duplicate it, add a score line. You take an octagon and you make the octagon fit this box from top to bottom with a little bit extra. Now, when I go a little further, you're going to understand. So that's all we've done so far. We duplicated the piece we cut off, and then we flipped it for the other side. So now we're going to line them up. Let's make them not align. And we're going to select them. We're going to go up here and click Align Top. So now they're all aligned, and now we're going to weld. So this is part of our envelope. This, the score line, is going to be in here. And this is where the score line is going to go. And you're going to fold in these sides for the envelope. Now we have to make the bottom part of the envelope and the top part of the envelope. So we have part of our envelope created. I have a whole video on just the envelope. So I'm going to use a square. Actually, I'm going to put the square up here so we can see if we want the bottom to fold up to about that high. And we only need the square to be, let's bring this to the front. We only need the square to be about where the score lines are. Okay, so then whoops, wrong one. I'm just gonna move that up so I can grab this. So I'm gonna put this down, overlap just a teeny bit. If you want this completely even, we can align and do center horizontally. So it's right in the middle of that. You can also add a cutout to it. Some envelopes have that so you can drag so you can pull the card out easier. And you can just do this wherever you want. I'm going to center horizontally, and then I'm going to slice. Whoops, undo. Okay, so now, grabbing the wrong thing. Move that out of the way because we don't want to weld the score line. So we're going to grab these and weld. We're going to arrange this to the front. Okay, come on down. Well, that won't come down, so we're going to go up. Now we're going to attach the score line. We have not done the closure on the envelope yet, because you need to do this in 2 pieces, otherwise it won't fit on a mat. Okay. I'm going to go back and answer questions. I'm making an envelope. Mary Ann, that's a great suggestion. It'll fit really tight if you make it perfectly the same size. So you might want to make it just a teeny bit bigger. And I can do that now. I can just pull this just a little bit bigger. You want it a little bit bigger than your card. You can get an envelope from Design Space and resize it, but it's sometimes harder to because of the weird sizes of some of the cards. Yeah, you can use one in Design Space, but if you want it like to fit like these weights, you know, it just might be a weird shape. Or the jacket. Yeah, you could fit it on a 12 by 24 mat. So let's make the top of the envelope. Do we have this attached? Yeah. Okay. So the top of the envelope, I also use an octagon. Actually, you don't even have to do much to it. You can just keep the octagon like it is. Add a score line. Right here down the center, just make it size it to the original box. And then when you make the envelope, you'll fold in these sides and then you'll put glue on the top of them and fold this down on top of it. So these sides get folded in first. Do not glue them down. Otherwise your card won't fit. So you just fold them in and then you can put glue on the sides of this bottom piece, not the bottom, but just on the sides, and they will glue on top of this piece. It's hard to mail something odd shaped, but if you have it in a square or a rectangle envelope, it's much easier. So like if you wanted something just to fit this, I would probably do a square, but you can't, if you make it a rectangle, it's cheaper to send. If it's a square, it's harder, it's more expensive to ship, to send in the mail. I think because the way it goes through the machines. Cheryl is asking, why won't slice always be active when I have two shapes selected? That is because there's something attached to it. Like I can't slice something up against this piece. Like say I wanted this piece and I'm doing that. Oh wait, I selected too many. So look, I only have two selected. So I'm looking over here. I have the octagon that's selected. And then I had this selected, but there is a score line attached. So you see, I cannot slice. Now let's detach the score line. So we're going to go down here and detach it. And then just select these two. And I can slice. Now, if I were to put the box around them both. Thanks for subscribing. If I were to put the box around both, but see, I accidentally selected that score line because it's behind there and I can't see it. If you can't slice, there's a reason. Oh, so you can't slice sometimes if it's printed or flattened and things like that. All right, are there any other questions? And let me show you this really fast. Let's ungroup this. I'm going to show you contour. Connie had a question about contour. You cannot contour when things are grouped together like this. We have to ungroup it. I'm going to show you how to get rid of the face. See the face? Let's say we don't want the face. So we have this image selected. It's only one image. You cannot have other things attached to it or grouped together. Click contour. Now I can click hide all contours and it gets rid of the face. Or I can click them right on the image, or I can just click the boxes to the right. And if I accidentally click some, I can click them back, and you can always go back and unclick them. I'm just going to click hide all, and then it no longer has the face. All right, did you guys learn something today? Shout outs to a few of the people who support my channel on Patreon.
Not that again.
Jean, Kim, Ebony, Linda, Audra, Stacy, Carol, Donna, Nina, Amanda, Carol, Vanessa, Marie, Virginia.
We already did those.
Linda. All right, guys, we're going to be here. What is next Saturday? The 1st? The first Saturday of the month, I open viewer mail if I have any. I'm not sure I have any right now. So if I don't have any, then we'll skip a month, and it might have to be another time, because what is this month? This a month from Saturday, I'm going to be driving in my car. Awesome. I'm so glad you guys are learning. And if you didn't learn, at least you had fun, right? Did you guys have fun? Awesome. You understand contour now. And I can go back to that image where I contoured out the cloud. I can go back to that at any time, even after it's saved, and add the face back in. And then you can click on the X or just click off the image anywhere. See, now his face is back. And I can go back, take it out. Or, you know what you can do? You can just have a face. I got rid of the whole cloud. And if I want it back, I can just go back. I can click it here. Get rid of the face. So you can bring it back and forth, so it's awesome. Yeah, Joan, I'm pretty sure you know most of the stuff I teach. You too, Bobby. See you all on a golf cart ride near you. All right, guys. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. I really appreciate all of you. And I will be back for another craft video on Tuesday. Love you guys. Bye.